Welcome to a new daily top Askreddit video. Today's topic: if instead of rebooting movies, retelling them from a different point of view became popular, which movie would you like retold? Air Bud, but told from the POV of the kid who was pulled out of a basketball game to be replaced by a dog. It only caused him to train harder and harder, bury himself into sports to prove others wrong. He ended up finding football, and the rest is history until the ghosts of his past came back to haunt him. The true Vick story. An alien invasion movie told strictly from the aliens' perspective, complete with their confusion about why the humans are responding the way they are. It would make sense to us but would take the narrative form of a mystery for them. It could be a clever way to illustrate cultural misunderstanding. An example could be, let's show them we are friendly by revealing all our weapons, to demonstrate we aren't hiding anything, which the humans would take as a threat. I always liked that about the Borg on Star Trek. They genuinely thought they were helping the people they were conquering. A villain is scarier when it thinks it's doing the right thing. This is basically the book form of I Am Legend. They have been trying for decades to make the movie properly. God, what an amazing book. It's so dark but so believable. The horror/comedy version of this is Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. If you haven't seen it, it's exactly what you're describing, but two hillbillies instead of aliens and campers instead of Earth's Air Force. Tucker: what am I supposed to say, Dale? Oh, hi-ho, officer. We've had a doozy of a day. There we were minding our own business, just doing chores around the house when kids started killing themselves all over my property. Dale: yeah, just like that. Tucker: they're never gonna believe that. Dale: but that's exactly what happened. Nice try, Disney. Who knows, maybe some good ideas will get done rather than the usual garbage. Aladdin, from Jaffar's perspective. A college theater group did a very R-rated version that is absolutely hilarious, which can be found on YouTube under Twisted, the story of a Grand Vizier. What I would really enjoy is a late 80s/early 90s hand-animated Aladdin where Jafar is the defender of the Sultan's realm against some nefarious interloper who is bent on stealing the princess' heart and worming his way into the royal family. And he has a genie. Fuck you, Jafar. I don't like musicals, and still this one was so good I keep bringing it up. Such a well-done piece. Funny, dark and yet somewhat touching. I'm going through this entire thread linking it to as many relevant comments as I can. It's so goddamn funny, and so worth the 2 hours. Also, fun fact, that theater group is the same one who did the Harry Potter musical. Edit: for those of you who enjoyed Twisted, my other favorite one by Starkid is The Trail to Oregon. It's about a family going through the Oregon Trail, just like the game. It's brilliant, and if you ever played the game as a kid, you'll appreciate it. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, from Willy Wonka's point of view. I want to hear his wicked thoughts. Through Grandpa Joe's point of view. There's gotta be a reason why that lazy able ass stayed in that bed for all those years. Edit: r/Gradpa Joe hate exists. Please stop commenting the same thing over and over. Eat, sleep, gangbang, repeat. Was the Johnny Depp one basically his point of view? That's what I thought. Funnily enough, it would have made more sense if the two movies had their names swapped. E.T. From his point of view. The fuck this kid poking me for? Robin Hood, from the Sheriff of Nottingham's perspective. It'd be great to watch a movie about a medieval cop trying to catch a highwayman. Apparently, the Russell Crowe Robin Hood movie was supposed to be this. However, Ridley Scott rewrote the script. I've seen that dumb movie twice and I couldn't tell you a single thing about it. So forgettable. I want a movie and a book called Neville Longbottom and the Sword of Gryffindor about life in the school while the big three were wandering around the woods. I have zero interest in what the big three are up to after the series ends, but I'd watch a Neville Longbottom series. Luna Lovegood, too. This isn't exactly what you described, but there's a fantastic play called Puffs that covers all 7 years of Harry's time at Hogwarts, from the perspective of the Hufflepuff students. When I made a trip to NYC a few years back to see some friends, I decided to see Puffs as a little addition to the trip. My friends ended up bailing on meeting up, but I still saw the play. I wasn't expecting much, but holy shit was it easily the highlight of my trip. To this day I quote it constantly with my other Puff friends who've seen it, and I generally regard it as more canon than The Cursed Child. Obligatory: I am not a threat. Please be my friend. The Matrix told from Agent Smith's POF. Dude is doing everything he can to prevent a bunch of smelly rebels trying to ruin his battery factory. The Matrix could have used cows for the entire thing. Just an endless green field of happy cows, forever. What does a cow want, after all? Instead it opted to give humanity an existence. It even tried to create a perfect world for them, but some restriction of its or humanity's basic hubris meant that it just had to go back to a relatively peaceful point in history, the 1980s, and give them that instead. Despite the fact that humanity fought a genocidal war against it and lost, it still did this. Even when we kept on fighting and fighting, and even conjured up some sort of messiah figure, it just let us get on with it in our silly little world. The Matrix showed us vastly more compassion than we would have shown it if the war had gone the other way. Edit yo, I have about 100 replies now. Thank you all for taking the time to do so, and I'll try to get back to you with my half-baked thoughts ASAP. Originally it was actually using humans for computer power, but someone changed that into energy. 500 Days of Summer would be really interesting to see Summer's perspective on everything. I once spoiled the movie for a friend. She said she was going to watch it and I, having already seen it, asked, is that the one where they all die in the end? She got a little upset because I spoiled it. A couple weeks later I saw her again and she told me she was waiting the whole time for them to die but no one did. We had a good laugh. You've spoiled the ending for me, now. I'm going to be watching this for the first time, waiting for them all to live. Avatar: The Last Airbender from the point of view of anyone but M. Night Shyamalan. I would love to see Azula's story. The series did a good job with her character, but expanding on it would be great. That or give us a story of Ira's life. Let us see him go from generic Fire Nation prince to the wise, tea-loving, pie show player who guided his nephew. And end with his journey to the spirit world. It would be the most wholesome show. There was no Avatar movie in BA Sing Selenium. Forrest Gump from Jenny's perspective. That would be a dark and fucked up movie. Who would play her father? Kevin Spacey. I would think Aliens from Newt's perspective would be pretty substantial. How a girl survived all that and the loss of her family alone on a foreign planet. Edit, and to clarify, as I wasn't expecting this to blow up lol, thank you all, it would be essentially the story of Newt living on Hadley's Hope, some background with her and her family, to the point her parents get face-hugged, how the aliens slaughtered the colony, how Newt survived in the air ducts, and what she lived through, while ending with Ripley finding her and bringing her back to the Marine Operations Base. It would be set as a claustrophobic horror movie. With a good script this movie could easily do $300 mil IMO. There's a comic from Dark Horse that has done this. It's 2 issues long. Early it is. Actually good. Aliens, Newt's Tale. Edit, another Redditor pointed out a mistake in the title. Thanks for the upvotes, people. Star Wars as a goofy stormtrooper buddy cop comedy. Wasn't that the premise of Troopers on YouTube or something? Edit, I was thinking the college humor one. You mean Troops? https://kduu3bzmzhy. How about Cloverfield from the view of a professional camera crew? This question instantly made me think of Cloverfield, but not for that reason. I remember when it came out people noticed that there's someone else with a camera in the bridge scene and it became a popular idea that they could do a sequel from that group's perspective. Not a movie, but I would definitely watch Breaking Bad, but from the perspective of Gus fathering. That dude has a crazy story to tell. I like that we get a little of that in Better Call Saul. Wait, I've got it. Breaking Bad, but from the perspective of the lawyer. I want to see a superhero movie from the perspective of an insurance adjuster. It could be a comedy, but just like every day he wakes up and he's enjoying his morning coffee and a bowl of oatmeal, then he flips open the morning paper and sees Iron Man went full Michael Bay again, or the Avengers were back in town. Long sigh. Stands up, chair squeaks on floor. Clicks pen. Straps iPad to hip. Tightens camera strap. He's the real superhero. There was a show called Powerless that was pretty similar to that concept, about an agency that deal with the aftermath of the collateral damage from superhero/villain fights. It wasn't the best show, but I thought it was a cool idea. Unfortunately, it was cancelled after a season. I still think it's an interesting POV and I'd like to see someone else take a shot at it. I loved this aspect of the boys that touched on this aspect of the fucking supes. A Lion King prequel from Scar's perspective. Show what really happened before the Mufasa era and see how Mufasa cheated Scar out of the throne. Scar's real name is Taka, which literally means garbage. Fucked up childhood. Scar, why can't you be more like your brother Mufasa? He's already started his own pride and is running for city council. All you do is sit around and hang out with those vile he's all day. You're a disappointment to this family. You should check out The Lion God. It's a kid's cartoon that is canon, and tells the backstory of Scar, how he got his scar, and why he was so bad. Scar's story isn't the focus, but it is important and I like how they made it all match to the OG Lion King trilogy. Can you just, tell us? I don't think I have the mental energy for that series.